I hear from a lot of business leaders that they feel like they have a great story to tell as a business, but no one seems to be listening. And when I hear the story and the work they're doing, I agree, they do have a great story. The problem is they're actually a best kept secret. Why is that happening? Why isn't their story getting out? Well, the first reason is they may not be actually telling it. And that is obviously a big problem. Secondly, they may actually have their story being crowded out by all the other stories in the market. It's a very noisy story market. There's a lot of competing stories out there. Another reason why their story might not be getting out is that they're not connecting with their buyers at the right time. The moment in the buyer's experience when they actually could benefit from hearing the story. And then the last reason they may not be getting out there is because they're using old methodology or old technology to try and tell a story. It actually makes them look out of date, and it works the opposite of actually building new sales. Your story is crucial to your growth. It's one of the ways that you stand out in the market, and that makes it super important. It also explains your why to your customers. It allows you to communicate to them the journey that you've been on, how you arrived at the place you are today, and the services or products you provide and why you provide them, and the fact that you have empathy for them. You understand their journey too. It also communicates something super important, and that's your passion, that you are passionate about delivering the services or product you deliver today. So there's a couple of story approaches that also really won't work for you. You might be trying these, and if you are, you can just kind of take them off the table. The first one is what I would call a typical origin story or history. A lot of websites, and I see them all the time, have a company history on them. It's nice background, but it doesn't really engage people. They're very unlikely to read it, and it's not going to help you to engage people in the story part of their brain. When you tell a story well, it connects with the decision part of the brain and helps people not only to remember you, but to move much closer to saying yes. Another story method that will not work is a simplistic story approach. When you take a simple branded story approach, you will find that it's so simplistic that it does not even feel real to people. Real stories in real life are actually complex. They're authentic. People connect with those stories because there's real character development and people are growing and changing and achieving things in them. And so your story has to be something much more than simple. When you take those off the table, you need some other tools to use. And so here's what you can do to begin improving your story. The first thing is take the current story you're telling and put it in front of some people that don't normally hear it. And put that story out there so that they can experience it and get some feedback from them. Make notes about how it engages them and watch their responses, not just listen to what they tell you. See if they're emotionally engaging with your story. See if it's moving them or bringing them forward. The second thing to do is to bullet point for yourself the journey that you've been on to get you where you are today. What are the steps you took? What are the challenges you overcame to get where you are right now and the way you deliver your service or a product? And make notes for yourself about that process. The next step would be to identify the customer challenges that you're serving in your business and figure out where those fit into your story, not just at the end of the story in the solution, but also in your own journey. How did you encounter similar kinds of challenges and overcome them? And communicate and connect with them at a level of empathy. The last thing to do is take all of these elements and put them on a 3x5 card or a couple of 3x5 cards and begin telling the story in a new way. Tell it to people that you haven't told to before and watch how they respond to you as you tell them the story. Are they engaging? Are they emotionally connecting? Can you see in their face that something is happening? And as you perfect that story, you'll be ready to share it in a brand new way.